In a serene village in eastern Nigeria, the story of Adaeze begins. Raised by her grandmother, Nneka, Adaeze is a young woman in her late 20s who embodies beauty, intelligence, and hard work. Nneka is immensely proud of her granddaughter and prays daily that a good man will come and take Adaeze away to a better life. One evening, as Nneka and Adaeze sit on the porch of their modest home, the elder woman looks at her granddaughter with love and concern. "Adaeze, my child, you are the pride of my heart. You work so hard, and your dreams are bigger than this village. One day, a good man will come for you, someone who deserves your love, and he will take you away from here. Nneni, your prayers are all I need. I know that God has a plan for me. But until then, I will keep working and dreaming. I just hope that one day, I can study nursing abroad and make you proud," Adaeze replies, smiling softly. Adaeze is more than just a village girl, she's a dreamer with her eyes set on becoming a nurse. She spends her free time researching nursing, reading books, and imagining a future where she can help others while living abroad. Cooking is another one of Adaeze's talents, and her skills in the kitchen are renowned throughout the village. Despite her contentment at home, there is a yearning within her, a desire to explore the world beyond her village. One December, during the Christmas season when Igbo men living abroad return home to celebrate with their families, Adaeze's life changes forever. On her way to the stream, she meets Obinna, a handsome young man who had just arrived from the United States. It's love at first sight for both of them. "Excuse me, miss. Are you from around here?" Obinna asks, his eyes locking onto hers. "Yes, I am. My name is Adaeze," she responds, surprised but polite. "Adaeze, such a beautiful name. I'm Obinna. I've just returned from the States. I was wondering if you could show me the way to the stream," he says, smiling warmly. Their friendship quickly blossoms into a romantic relationship, and soon they are inseparable. But their time together is cut short as Obinna must return to the United States. They agree to keep their relationship alive, despite the distance. "I promise, Adaeze, I will come back for you. This is just the beginning for us," Obinna vows, holding her hands tightly. "I believe you, Obinna. I will wait for you. Just come back soon," Adaeze replies, her eyes filling with tears. For 6 months, they maintain a long-distance relationship, communicating through phone calls and letters, each message deepening their bond. When Obinna returns to Nigeria, it's to fulfill a promise. He performs the traditional marriage rites, and they celebrate their union with a beautiful church wedding. The day is filled with joy, especially for Nneka, who dances with abandon, her heart full of happiness and hope for her granddaughter's future. "My daughter, today is the happiest day of my life. You are married to a good man, and your future is bright. May God bless your union and lead you to great things," Nneka says, beaming with joy. "Thank you, Nneni. Your prayers have brought us here. I will make you proud," Adaeze responds, embracing her grandmother tightly. 2 months later, Obinna returns to Nigeria to take Adaeze back with him to the United States. Her visa is ready, and the couple is excited about the life they will build together. Upon arrival in America, Obinna wastes no time enrolling Adaeze in a nursing program. She excels in her studies, graduating at the top of her class, and quickly secures a job at a prestigious hospital. However, as Adaeze's career begins to flourish, cracks start to appear in her marriage. Despite her success, she notices a disturbing change in Obinna. He stops working, refusing to look for a job, and spends his days indulging in shopping sprees, partying, and drinking. Adaeze is left to carry the financial burden alone. She tries to reason with him. "Obinna, I found some job opportunities that might interest you. Maybe you could go back to school as well. We need to plan for our future together," she suggests, her voice filled with concern. Obinna, irritated, responds sharply, "Adaeze, I've worked hard all my life. I spent my savings to bring you here and to send you to school. Now it's my time to relax. You don't need to worry about me." Adeeze's heart breaks as she watches her husband squander their resources on frivolous expenses. Hoping that greater responsibility might encourage Obinna to change, she takes out a mortgage on a larger house. But instead of stepping up, Obinna only deepens his irresponsible behavior, buying designer clothes and taking out loans for exotic cars. Desperate, Adeeze turns to Obinna's friends for help, pleading with them to talk some sense into her husband. But nothing changes. Then, one day, Adeeze receives a devastating call from Nigeria. Nneka is gravely ill and needs immediate surgery, including a blood transfusion. In a panic, Adeeze rushes to the bank to transfer money back home, only to discover that her account has been drained. She calls Obinna in tears, explaining the situation, but he coldly tells her that he spent the money on meals, drinks for his friends, and new clothes. "Obinna, that money was for Nneka's surgery. How could you do this?" Adeeze cries, her voice trembling with despair. "I used it to pay for the good times we've had. Besides, I deserve to enjoy life too." Obinna responds indifferently. Furious and heartbroken, Adeeze confronts Obinna at home. "This is not what we agreed on. You need to leave." "I can't do this anymore," she declares, her voice shaking with anger and hurt. "Leave. This is my house too, Adeeze. You're not going to chase me out," Obinna mocks her, his voice dripping with disdain. But Obinna refuses, and his anger boils over into violence. They argue viciously, trading harsh words and accusations. 3 days later, Adeeze receives a false news she feared the most: her grandmother has passed away. "You've ruined everything, Obinna. I can't believe this is what my life has become," Adeeze cries, shattered by grief and anger. Grief-stricken and enraged, Adeeze takes Obinna's clothes and throws them outside, demanding that he leave. "Get out of my house. Get out," she screams, her voice echoing through the empty halls. This time, Obinna's anger reaches a terrifying peak. He attacks Adeeze, hitting her repeatedly with anything he can find, until in a blind rage, he ends her life. In the aftermath, Obinna realizes the horror of what he has done. He calls 911, sobbing as he confesses to killing his wife. "I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to," he cries, his voice filled with regret and despair. The police arrive and take him into custody, leaving the once joyful home in a state of desolation. Back in Nigeria, Adeeze's funeral is a somber affair. The entire village gathers to mourn the loss of a bright young woman whose life was full of promise. Nneka, now frail and overwhelmed with grief, stands at the forefront, her heart shattered by the loss of the granddaughter she cherished so dearly. The sun sets as they lay Adeeze to rest, casting long shadows over the village that will never forget her. But Adeeze's story does not end in tragedy alone. It becomes a tale of caution and a legacy of love and dreams. Nneka vows to keep Adeeze's memory alive, ensuring that her granddaughter's life serves as a lesson to others. Years later, a young girl, much like Adeeze, stands by the same stream where Adeeze met Obinna. She holds a nursing book close to her heart, her eyes filled with the same determination and hope that once guided Adeeze. As the sun rises over the village, it illuminates a new beginning, a new dream born from the legacy of the past. In this village, life continues. The land of green, with all its joys and sorrows, nurtures the seeds of new beginnings, reminding us that even in the darkest times, the light of hope never truly fades.